When it comes down to Dandadan, it always seems to amaze me because every episode just seems to one up itself. And this one is no different. We have the continuation of the effects from the lava stuff, where Momo Ayase is piecing together why is this all happening? Because it's not just superstition with that the worm dies and the lava god just comes out and starts going all crazy like the Keto family are essentially saying. So she remembers something that I kind of failed to mention that she went to investigate during episode 1, where she met the priest. The priest essentially says more or less a few things that honestly I couldn't really tell you because I didn't really fully grasp it. But the important factor is they have this situation now to deal with. So how do they solve it? Well, Momo Ayase, being harassed by the Keto family, uses the worm in a creative way. It essentially sticks one side onto the water that's like still spewing from the hot springs, and the other corner is essentially the fire hydrant. So it is a pretty creative way of trying to solve the issue with the damn lava. Though she's still obviously being harassed by the Keto family, who are dead set that this is her fault and they need to sacrifice her. However, that's the least of all of their problems, because Evil Eye is back and is starting to cause trouble because he starts beating the ever-living fuck out of everyone. And just as it seems like they are all screwed, like the priest comes in, the priest comes in earlier to protect Momo Ayase and reveals that he is Grandma Seiko's student, which is an interesting thing and shows that, this dude can throw hands because he was a part of the faction that were fighting Evil Eye, like when Evil Eye appeared and started causing trouble to all of them. Now, clearly the strongest of the Keto family is the old lady, and, her arm is fucked. So, after Momo Ayase basically tells her and that, hey, we should probably work together, and they do. They are sort of pretty creative. Like, they definitely give Evil Eye a bit of a problem, but that's it. They just give him a problem. It's not a genuine factor that they could do anything, because right after he basically lets himself, it looks like he let himself get a few hits get a few hits on him, he starts wrecking everyone. And right before, it seems like Momo Ayase is screwed because her ability, it seemed like his ball of souls cutting through her ability or psychic abilities might have actually caused them to get hampered. Like, she is about to get hit, and then all of a sudden, Mr. Boxer Alien comes in. Yes, I'm gonna keep calling him that. Mr. Boxer Alien comes in and just punches him, and then we have the spaceship with literally his kids singing, which is super wholesome and funny. And we have Grandma Seiko standing on top of the mannequin, and basically we have the cavalry that arrived, because it seems like Seiko kind of figured that things were not exactly going to go as they were supposed to be intended, and that they went all over the place. So with that in mind, we have what is essentially one of the coolest fights. First, we gotta admit, Seiko complaining about how slow it is and that they should get an elevator is funny, because oh my god, this is like a bunch of minutes of just her going slowly onto the ground. But once things picked up, things really do pick up, and I gotta admit, the animation, it is insane. Now, I will make a note that if Okarun in his badass form came in, or I guess Turbo Granny form, had come in and assisted, this would have not have been as crazy hard, if anything, because last episode, he actually put Evil Eye in his place. But that aside, we have the great plan of using the mannequin to bait himself to get hit, so that way he's in a million pieces, but that's in order to come all together while capturing Evil Eye. So Seiko really did have an interesting plan, and it worked to perfection, because as we're seeing the mannequins, pieces all flying off, Evil Eye notices the little paper thing that Seiko uses to deal with spirits. And they capture him. They capture Evil Eye, and that's essentially how that is solved. Now, Momo Ayase goes to look for Okarun because she's so worried about him. And yeah, like the little blah or whatever the hell the worm was spewing, that covered the entire area that him and Turbo Granny were at. So it allowed a protection from the lava, because without that, they would have died. And that's quite the stroke of luck. And yeah, episode ends with a nice, wholesome scene between Momo Ayase and Okarun. Like, Okarun blames himself because he learns that Gigi slash Evil Eye were there and that Momo Ayase had to deal with that. So he blames himself that he couldn't beat Evil Eye, even though, dude, you really did. It just so happens that he got up while you were trapped. And Momo Ayase was just so worried for Okarun's safety that she does, like, cry and stuff. So these two, oh my god, they're always so wholesome together. It is insane. Like, yeah, I'm gonna give this episode a 10 out of 10. No, don't doubt about it. But Momo Ayase has like the best, funniest expressions. But when it's really like a serious moment, she is like the one character I'm just so invested in. It's crazy. Her and Okarun. But my god, Lee, this was probably one of the best ways to essentially end the crazy threat that is Evil Eye, and creative, because I doubt in a real like fight without that little plan they would have lasted very long, because Evil Eye is pretty damn strong with Gigi's body. Like, let's be real, if it prolonged any longer, there would have been a casualty or two.